Hi everyone, welcome to James English. Today, let us learn sentences. In this class, let us focus on what is a sentence, what is a subject and predicate, and what is an object, and how many types of objects are there. So, let us start with a simple question. What is a sentence? A sentence indicates a group of words. It consists of subject and predicate. A sentence gives complete meaning. It starts with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. I repeat once again. A sentence is a group of words. It starts with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. Here we have a few examples. Let us try to analyze them. Akbar was a great king. Akbar was a great king. So Akbar was a great king. So Akbar is a word, was a word, great king. Altogether we can call it a sentence is a group of words. And look at the second point. A sentence consists of subject and predicate. What is the subject here? Akbar. Akbar is a subject and the rest of the part you can call it as a predicate. So we can say that sentence consists of subject and predicate. Then sentence gives complete meaning. When you read this example, Akbar was a great king and you get a complete meaning. And remember, a sentence starts or begins with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. When I say punctuation mark, based on a sentence, it can be full stop or question mark or exclamatory mark. So let us look at the second example. Delhi is the capital of India. The cow is a useful animal. Now, having learned what is a sentence, now let us try to analyze the parts in a sentence. They are subject and predicate. What is subject and what is predicate? So please remember, a sentence is the largest grammatical unit. A sentence is the largest grammatical unit. A sentence is basically divided into two main parts. How many parts? Two main parts. They are subject and predicate. Please read the examples. Akbar was a great king. Delhi is the capital of India. The cow is a useful animal. Here, what is the subject? So, Akbar, Delhi, the cow. So, these are all known as subject. And without a subject, the rest of the part in a sentence can be called as a predicate. So, please tell me, how many parts are there in a sentence? Yes, there are two parts. They are subject and predicate. Then now, what is a subject? What is a subject? The subject is a part of a sentence. It refers to a person, place, thing or animal that is being discussed or spoken about in a sentence. Very, very important definition. A sentence refers to either a person, place, thing or animal that is being discussed or spoken about in a sentence. For example, Akbar was a great king. Here, so we are talking about Akbar or we are discussing about Akbar, then Akbar is said to be subject. When we say Delhi is the capital of India, here we are referring to what? Delhi, or we are speaking about Delhi. The cow is a useful animal. So here we are talking about the cow. That means when I say subject, it can be person, place, thing or animal. Can I provide some more examples? Virat plays cricket. What is the subject here? Virat. Because in this particular example, we are talking about Virat. Rajnikant is a famous actor. We are talking about Rajnikant. She is my cousin. He is my brother. That means subject means it can be either a noun or pronoun. It can be either noun or pronoun, but we should refer to them. We should talk about them. We should discuss about them. Is it clear? What is the subject? Then let us move on to what is a predicate. What is a predicate? The predicate is a part of a sentence. It tells about a subject in a sentence. So I am intentionally giving or repeating the same examples so that you can easily relate, guys. See here. So the predicate is also the part of a sentence, but it tells about the subject. Just observe the following examples. Akbar was a great king. We have already learned that Akbar is a subject because here we are talking about Akbar. Then what about was a great king? Was a great king is a part of the sentence that tells about the subject. Then it is known as predicate. Delhi is the capital of India. Delhi is a subject. Then what about the rest of the part of the sentence that is the capital of India? This tells about the subject. Then this is known as predicate. So we can simply say that predicate is a part of a sentence that tells about the subject. Shall I give you one more example? Please read this. The sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. What is the subject here? The sun. Because in this particular example, we are talking about the sun. Then, other than subject, rest of the part you can call it as a predicate. You can call it as a predicate. Just read that rises in the east. Rises in the east is a group of words which tells about the subject. Then that particular part is known as predicate. Now tell me, what is a predicate? Predicate is the part of a sentence. It always tells about subject. And look at the third example. The cow is a useful animal. Is a useful animal is talking about subject, and that part is known as predicate. Now, having learned what is a subject and predicate, let us learn another important concept, that is, what is an object. In English grammar, subject, predicate, object, these words often repeated. So it is very necessary. It is very much necessary to learn these concepts. Then tell me, what is an object? Predicative noun or pronoun is called an object. Predicative noun or pronoun is called an object. There are two types of objects. First one, direct object. Second one, indirect object. I will explain with two examples. Akbar was a great king. What is the subject? What is the subject? Akbar, because we are talking about Akbar. Then what is the predicate? Was a great king. Was a great king is called predicate. Now, what is an object? We said predicative noun or pronoun. So, was a great king is already predicate. Now, we need to look for any noun. We need to look for any noun or pronoun. Okay. Now, was a great king is a predicate. Is there any noun here? Yes, that is a king. So, this is known as object. This is known as object. Let us continue with the second example. Delhi is the capital of India. What is the subject here? Delhi. Because we are referring to Delhi. We are describing to Delhi. We are talking about Delhi. Then what is predicate? Is the capital of India. Then we are talking about object, right? An object is a predicative noun or pronoun. Is there any noun in this particular predicate? Yes, we have. What is that? India. So this India is known as object. Is that clear? Can I give you one more example? Would you like to, do exercise one example? Yes, okay. Please look at this. Ramu helped Ajay. Ramu helped Ajay. What is the subject here? What is the subject here? Ramu. Okay. What is the predicate here? Helped Ajay is a predicate. Okay. This is a predicate. Is there any object here? We need to look for predicative noun. Is there any predicative noun? Ajay. So Ajay should be called an object. Is it clear? Then there are two types of objects, right? What are they? One is a direct object, the other one is indirect object. Then let us focus on what is direct object. Let us focus on what is a direct object. A direct object is also called an impersonal object. It is also known as impersonal object. When I say impersonal, we speak about inanimate things. Inanimate things. Inanimate. Inanimate means without life. Inanimate means without life or without flesh. Then to find a direct object, there is a technique, that is a direct object answers the question what. It answers the question what. Please read the examples. Harish passed a ball to Naresh. Harish passed a ball to Naresh. What is the subject? Okay. So what is the subject? Tell me. Yeah. Okay. Harish becomes a subject because we are talking about Harish. Then what is the predicate? Passed a ball to Naresh is called predicate. Okay. Very good. Are there any objects here? Yes, we have objects here. So object 1, object 2. How can you identify objects? The predicative nouns or pronouns are known as objects, right? Now our question is, what is a direct object? So to find a direct object, we need to ask a question, what? What Harish passed? Ball. So ball becomes a direct object. Ball becomes a direct object. And ball is an impersonal object. It has no life. Am I right? Very good. And this is known as inanimate. Inanimate means without life, right? Okay, let's continue with the second example. Sita gave sweets to us. Can you please tell me what is the subject here? Okay, subject is Sita. Okay, what is the predicate? Gave sweets to us is called predicate. Then, are there any objects here? Yes, we have two objects here. This is one object and us is another object. Then what Sita gave? What Sita gave? Sita gave sweets. So sweets becomes a direct object. So friends, we can come to a conclusion. A direct object is also known as impersonal object. It answers the question what? What Harish passed? Ball. What Sita gave? Sweets. Is it clear? Right. Then having learned what is a direct object, let us move on to an indirect object. An indirect object is also known as a personal object. It is also known as personal object. Person means we know it gives life, right? An indirect object answers the question to whom? Direct object answers the question what? Indirect object answers the question to whom? Let us continue with the example. Harish passed a ball to Naresh. What is the subject here? Harish. What is the predicate here? Passed a ball is called predicate. What is the direct object here? Ball. Ball becomes a direct object. Then what is the indirect object? To whom Harish passed? To whom? To Naresh. So this becomes personal object or indirect object or indirect object. Let's continue with the second example. Sita gave sweets to us. What is the subject? Sita. Very good. What is the predicate? Gave sweets to us. What is the direct object? What Sita gave? Sweets. To whom Sita gave? Us. Us becomes a direct object, an indirect object or personal object. So now we have a complete picture of what is the subject, what is a predicate, what is an object, what is a direct object, and what is an indirect object. Now, having learned all the concepts, it's a question time. Would you like to check your grammar? Right, let's continue. Answer the following questions. You need to answer the questions which I narrate. So here we have three examples. I will be asking questions. I will be underlying in these particular examples here and there, and I shall simultaneously ask a question. Are you ready? Right. First question. Tamil Nadu is called the land of temples. What is subject in this particular example? Tamil Nadu is called the land of temples. What is the subject here? Very good. Tamil Nadu is becoming subject. How can you say that Tamil Nadu is a subject? Very good. We are referring to Tamil Nadu. We are describing about Tamil Nadu, or we are talking about Tamil Nadu in this particular example. Then what is the predicate in this particular example? Very good. Is called the land of temples is called predicate. Okay, very good. What is the object in this particular example? Very good. Temples becomes object. Very good. Because predicative noun is called an object. Okay, second question. The peacock is the national bird of India. The peacock is the national bird of India. What is the predicate in this particular example? What is the predicate in this particular example? Is the national bird of India is called the predicate. Very good. What is subject here? The peacock. The peacock. We are talking about peacock. What is the object here? India. India becomes an object. Okay. Third example. Raju gave a pen to John. Raju gave a pen to John. What is direct object in this particular example? I repeat. What is direct object in this particular example? Please tell me. Very good. A pen. A pen is a direct object because a direct object answers the question what? What is the other name for direct object? Who can answer? Fast ki cheppayali. Sorry. Who can answer? Yeah, please say fast. Yeah, direct object. So what is the direct object here? Direct object is, yes, impersonal object. Impersonal object. Then what is the subject here? Raju. Raju is a subject. Okay. What is the indirect object? John. John becomes indirect object. So friends, having learned what is the subject, what is the predicate, and what are the different types of objects. Now let us move on to types of sentences. There are two types of sentences. They are based on meaning and based on structure. According to based on meaning, there are 5 types of sentences. They are assertive, imperative, interrogative, exclamatory, and optative. And based on structure, there are 4 types of sentences. There are 4 types of sentences: simple, compound, complex, and the 4th one, compound and complex. Compound and complex sentence. So in our next class, I will focus on sentences based on meaning, then sentences based on structure. I hope today's sentences part 1 is absolutely clear to you, because in this particular video I have given you a lot of information on what is a subject, what is a predicate, and what are the different types of objects. So if at all you have any questions, please listen to the video once again